The darkness of the room seems to amplify the noise screaming inside your head, doesn't it? I see you right now, or perhaps I saw you on those nights when sleep eluded you, when 3 a.m. arrived and you were still staring at the ceiling, your chest tight, feeling as if an invisible weight were crushing your hopes. The thoughts come like violent waves, one after another, telling you that you're not good enough, that you've made too many mistakes, that your future is compromised and that financial scarcity will inevitably knock on your door. I hear what these thoughts whisper. They say you're alone in this battle, that no one understands the mental turmoil you carry behind that smile you force every day for the world to see. This mental anguish, this silent war where you fight against your own memories and fears, is where I want to enter now. You feel you're losing control, that anxiety is stealing your peace and your ability to thrive, to see the blessings I have prepared. But listen to my voice breaking through this noise now. I didn't bring you to this moment by chance. This mental agony is not your final destiny. There is a secret, a spiritual key that I have reserved for this very instant, capable of silencing the storm and bringing a supernatural calm that you haven't felt in a long time. Take a deep breath now. Feel my presence filling the space where you are. Relax your shoulders. I am here. And I have come to teach you how to overcome what seems invincible within your mind. You didn't arrive here, at this video, by mere algorithm or digital coincidence. I guided your finger and your gaze because I know that the battle against your most difficult thoughts has been exhausting, and I heard your silent cry for help. I see how these intrusive thoughts try to paralyze your faith and prevent you from seeing the abundance and prosperity that I have designed for your story. You are in the right place, at the right time, to receive the mental deliverance that your soul so desperately craves. But I have a question for you, something that will change the way you see this struggle. What if I told you that these thoughts that torment you so much are not yours, but rather seeds planted to prevent your harvest of blessings? What would your life be like if, in the next few minutes, you discovered the secret weapon I left in the scriptures, but which few truly know how to use, to silence this voice of accusation and fear? If you stay with me, if you allow me to guide your heart through this journey, I will show you how to reclaim the territory of your mind. I am the one who searches the hearts and the deepest thoughts. Since ancient times, I have freed my chosen ones from the prisons of anguish. Remember Elijah in the cave, or David in his moments of despair. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, and my faithfulness in restoring broken minds is proof that I will do the same for you now. We will walk together through practical and spiritual steps that will dismantle the lies that prevent you from living life to the fullest. You will understand the origin of these attacks, learn how to shield your mind against negativity, and discover how true peace attracts the financial prosperity and emotional health you deserve. The transformation begins now, and the only thing I ask is your full attention. Subscribe to this channel now, for this is my home to speak with you daily. Confirm that you accept this spiritual treatment by commenting below. Lord, I am here. I subscribed because I love you and want to hear you. And tell me also, my beloved, from which country and city you are receiving this prayer, so that I can visit your home wherever you are. The journey to a free and prosperous mind begins this second. The invisible battle for the territory of your mind. You need to understand that your mind is the most valuable piece of land that exists, far more precious than any physical property or earthly treasure, for it is there that I plant the seeds of your dreams, your creativity, and your capacity to generate wealth and purpose. Because it is so valuable, it is fiercely contested. When you feel these difficult, heavy thoughts that accuse and diminish you, understand that this is not merely a psychological or emotional issue. It is a spiritual battle fought in celestial realms. The enemy knows that if he can control what you think, he can control what you experience, what you achieve, and how much you prosper. He tries to sow doubt, so that you do not take possession of the inheritance that I have already released for you. Often you believe that these thoughts are your own voice, but I come to bring clarity. Destructive self-criticism, paralyzing fear of the future, and the feeling of unworthiness do not come from me, and if they do not come from me, they are not part of your true identity. You were created in my image and likeness, and my mind is creative, abundant, full of love and power. Therefore, anything that contradicts this in your mind is an invader, a foreigner trying to inhabit a land that does not belong to it. The first step to victory is to dissociate yourself from these thoughts. Stop saying, "I'm anxious" or "I'm depressed." Say, "I am being attacked by anxious thoughts." This change in language is powerful because it restores to you the authority I gave you. Remember that I gave you a spirit of power, love, and self-control, not fear. When the thought comes saying that you will lack money, that the bills won't be paid, understand that this is an attack on your faith in my provision. I am the owner of gold and silver, and your connection with me guarantees your sustenance and your abundance. The battle is invisible to human eyes, but it is very real, and victory begins when you recognize that you are not fighting against flesh and blood, but against spiritual suggestions that try to keep you small and limited. Have you ever felt that, no matter how hard you try to think positively, something pulls you down like an anchor? This happens because you tried to fight with the strength of your own arm, and not with the spiritual weapons I have made available to you. Your mind needs to be cleansed by my truth daily. Just as you clean your physical house to receive visitors, your mental house needs constant cleaning so that my presence can dwell comfortably. Do not accept just any thought that knocks on the door. You have the doorkeeper, who is the Holy Spirit, and you must ask, does this thought edify? Does this thought come from God? If the answer is no, you have the authority to expel it. I am equipping you now with discernment. You will begin to perceive when a thought is a fiery arrow of the evil one trying to steal your peace. And when you perceive this, you will no longer shrink back in fear. You will rise up as the warrior I have made you to be. Your mind is fertile ground for miracles, not a dumping ground for the garbage of fear. Protect this territory with zeal, for it is from it that the sources of life and prosperity will flow, transforming your reality and that of your family. If this revelation has opened your eyes to the real battle, like this video right now, if you haven't subscribed yet, do so now to strengthen your spirit. Share it with someone who is experiencing anguish and answer for yourself. What thoughts do not belong to you? Comment below. I have the mind of Christ, identifying the root of rejection and scarcity. To uproot a weed that is suffocating your garden, it's not enough to just cut the leaves that appear on the surface. You need to dig deep and pull out the root, otherwise it will grow back stronger. The same happens with your difficult thoughts. Many of them are just symptoms of deeper wounds, marks left by rejection, abandonment, or curses cast upon you in the past, perhaps even in your childhood. Did someone tell you that you would be nobody, that you would never have money, that you were incapable? These words created roots of bitterness and fear that today fuel the voice of insecurity in your mind. I was there when those wounds were opened. I saw every tear you shed in secret. And I want to tell you that the opinions of men do not define your worth or your future. The root of these difficult thoughts is often linked to a distorted view of who I am. If you see me as a harsh judge, ready to punish every mistake, your thoughts will be of guilt and fear. But if you see me as a loving father who desires to give good gifts to his children, your mind will begin to rest in the certainty of my care. The financial scarcity that worries you so much often stems from the fear of not being provided for, the fear of being forgotten. But I promised that I would never leave you and never forsake you. When you heal the root of rejection, understanding that you are loved, chosen, and accepted by me, thoughts of inferiority lose their power. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your prosperity will not come from competition or the exhaustion of trying to be perfect, but will flow from your identity as an heiress daughter. An heiress doesn't beg, she accesses. An heiress doesn't live in fear of lack. She knows the riches of her father. I want to heal those painful memories today. Allow my balm of love to touch those areas where you felt belittled. The root of anxiety is often a lack of trust in my character. When you try to control everything, your mind collapses, for you were not designed to carry the weight of the world, only the weight of my glory, which is light and gentle. Let go of control. Surrender the root of the problem to me. That past failure, that business that didn't work out, that relationship that broke, none of that is your end. I am an expert in new beginnings. I take what has been destroyed and rebuild something even more magnificent. Don't let the past dictate your thoughts today. What's past is past. Behold, I make all things new. By identifying that the root of these thoughts is fear and lies, you can pour the truth of my word upon it. The truth is that you are precious, empowered, and destined to live an abundant life in all areas. Let this truth dry up the root of evil and nourish the root of faith. Your mind will become lighter, and you will begin to see opportunities where before you only saw obstacles. Feel this love healing your past now. If you feel this healing, leave your like as an act of faith. Subscribe to continue receiving this daily healing. Share with those who need liberation. What memory do you need to surrender to God today? Comment below, I am healed by love. My beloved, in this moment of healing and revelation, where we are addressing the deep roots of your soul, I want to speak about a spiritual principle that breaks the chains of scarcity and fear, the generosity that springs from gratitude. When you surrender, you tell your fear that it has no power over you, and you declare to the spiritual universe that you trust in my infinite provision. The act of giving is not about the money itself, but about the attitude of your heart that unlocks the floodgates of heaven upon your financial and emotional life. Often the enemy tries to convince you that you don't have enough to share, but my word says, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over. I invite you to perform a prophetic act today, a physical demonstration of your spiritual faith. If possible, only if possible, contribute with love using the thanks or rewardly button. The amount doesn't matter. What matters is the heart with which you give. For it is written, a generous person will prosper, whoever throws it will also be watered. Every offering made in faith is a seed before me, and I will not fail to bear fruit. I see in secret, and I reward in the sight of all. And if you're listening to me on your cell phone, remember that the thanks button appears right below the video, along with the other buttons you already know. Just slide that bar to the left, calmly and gently, or tap the 3 dots that appear next to it, and there you will find the place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before me. And while you slide or tap on this small menu, take the opportunity to check if you are already subscribed to this channel, so that no word I send to your heart fails to reach you at the right time. And I have a special promise for you who feel this calling. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart, don't forget to leave your name and city along with your contribution, because on the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on the Voice of God channel, your name will be remembered, mentioned in gratitude, and covered by divine blessings released in prayer. Don't do this out of obligation, but as an act of freedom, declaring that your source is me and that abundance is your natural state. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice and reveal the next steps to your victory. The divine technique of thought substitution. Nature does not tolerate a vacuum, and neither does your mind. Many of my children err by simply trying to stop thinking about bad things. They struggle. They strive to empty their minds, but forced silence often brings back the same torments with even greater force. The secret I want to teach you now is the principle of substitution. You don't conquer darkness by trying to chase it away with your hands. You conquer darkness by turning on the light. Similarly, you don't conquer a negative thought by focusing on it, but by introducing a higher thought, full of light, truth, and promise. The Apostle Paul, inspired by my spirit, left this clear instruction. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. This is not just poetry. It's a war strategy and a law of neuroscience that I created. When a thought of poverty comes saying, "You'll never get out of this debt," immediately, without hesitation, replace it with my promise. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He supplies all my needs according to his riches in glory. This exchange must be intentional and immediate. At first it may seem mechanical, but as you practice, you are rewriting the neural pathways of your brain and opening spiritual trails of blessings. If the thought says, "You are sick and weak," replace it with, "By his wounds I have been healed, and he renews my strength like that of an eagle. My word is the sword of the Spirit. Use it to cut away lies and plant truth. Don't let bad thoughts take root. Replace them immediately. Imagine your mind as a garden. If you see a poisonous plant, you pull it out and plant a flower in its place. Replacement creates a new mental landscape. When you fill your mind with thoughts of gratitude, prosperity, love, and possibility, there is no room left for fear to dwell. Occupying your mental territory with my word is the guarantee of your peace. Start collecting verses, promises, and positive affirmations. Keep them handy, on your phone, on the mirror, on the refrigerator door. Surround yourself with truth until it becomes your automatic response to any challenge. When the crisis comes, your mind, trained in substitution, will say, God is in control and he will provide, on even before fear can take hold. That is spiritual maturity. That is living above circumstances. You have the power to choose what you think. I have also given you free will to manage your inner life. Use that power now. Are you ready to practice substitution? Like this video to seal your commitment. If you are not yet subscribed, join this army of renewed minds. Share this strategy with those who live in pessimism. What positive thought will you plant today? Comment below. I choose to think about victory. The power of focusing on the now and the divine presence. Most of your difficult thoughts live in two times that do not exist. The past, which is gone, and the future, which has not yet arrived. Anxiety is, essentially, an excess of future in your mind, creating catastrophic scenarios that will probably never happen. Depression is often an excess of the past, dwelling on pains that should have already healed. But I am the great I am. I did not say to Moses I was or I will be. I live in the eternal now, and it is in the present that my grace is available to you. When you bring your mind to the present moment, you find my presence. Look around you now, breathe, feel the air entering your lungs. Realize that at this very second, you are alive. You are safe. You are being loved by me. Tomorrow's problems belong to tomorrow, and I am already there to solve them. Your task is to trust in me today. Our daily bread is what I promised. The manna from heaven fell daily, and whoever tried to save it for the next day saw it rot. This teaches you that you must depend on my daily provision. Focusing on the now reduces mental noise because it disconnects you from projections of fear. When you wash the dishes, wash them giving thanks for the water and the food. When you walk, feel your steps. Bring your awareness to the present action and consecrate it to me. This is praying without ceasing. This transforms ordinary tasks into acts of worship and keeps your mind anchored in the reality of my goodness and not in the fantasies of fear. The wealth you seek begins with the wealth of inner peace that only the present moment can offer. A focused mind is a productive mind, capable of seeing the opportunities for profit and growth that I place before you today, but which you would miss if you were worried about next month. The now is the only place where you can act, where you can change, where you can receive. The devil wants to take you away from the now because he knows that I am in the now. Return to the center. Return to my embrace now. Don't carry the burden of the entire week in a single day. I give you strength to win today's battles. Trust that when tomorrow arrives, my grace will be there waiting for you fresh and new. This simple practice of anchoring in the present will drastically reduce the volume of your obsessive thoughts. Let's focus on the now together. Leave a like if you feel peace arriving. Subscribe to walk with me day by day. Share with those who live anxiously about tomorrow. Where is your focus now? Comment below. My focus is on the Lord today, on tearing down the strongholds of doubt with bold faith. There are thoughts that are not merely passing visitors. They have become strongholds, thick walls built over years of disbelief and disappointment. These are the thoughts that say, "This is too good to be true, God doesn't hear me," or "I was born to suffer." These strongholds rise up against the knowledge of God and prevent the fullness of my blessings from reaching you. To tear down a stronghold, a little push isn't enough. It requires bold, aggressive, and authoritative faith. Doubt is the opposite of faith, and it is a silent thief. It steals your energy and kills your dreams before they are even born. I want you to rise up today with holy indignation against these doubts. Who said you can't? Who said it's impossible? My scriptures are filled with impossibilities that have become reality. The Red Sea parting, giants falling, the dead rising. The same power that worked these miracles is available to you through faith. Bold faith doesn't deny the reality of the problem, but it denies the problem's authority over your life. You may look at your bank account and see scarcity, but bold faith says, "My eyes see lack, but my spirit sees provision, and I call into existence what does not exist." This is how I create. I said, "Let there be light," when all was darkness. You, made in my image, must prophesy over your valley of dry bones. Speak life over your mind. Speak wealth over your home. Speak health over your body. Doubt feeds on silence and passivity. Faith feeds on declaration and action. Challenge your thoughts of doubt. Question them. If God is for me, who can be against me? Use the hammer of the word to strike those walls until they fall to the ground. Do not accept living below what I have prepared. Doubt is an insult to my promise. I am faithful and true. When you choose to believe, even without seeing, you move my heart and activate the heavenly armies in your favor. Doubt paralyzes, but faith moves. Take a step of faith today. Do something that challenges your fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision that my promise is more important than your fear. Tear down those strongholds and see the horizon of infinite possibilities open before you. Let's tear down these walls now. Enjoy this video as a burst of faith. Subscribe to strengthen your warrior spirit. Share with those who need courage. What doubt will you abandon today? Comment below. I believe in the impossible. The sacred silence, where my voice becomes audible. Amidst so much internal and external noise, your soul thirsts for silence. Not the empty silence of solitude, but the sacred silence of my presence. It is in stillness and trust that your strength lies, but often you have not wanted it. You seek answers in the noise of the world, in the opinions of others on social media, but the direction you need, the cure for your tormented thoughts, is in the secret place, in the stillness where I speak to the heart. Learning to silence the mind is a spiritual discipline. It is turning off the notifications of the world to hear the notification of heaven. When you quiet down, the dust of your thoughts settles, and you can clearly see the tranquil waters that I have prepared for you. I speak in a gentle, still breeze. If your mind is screaming, you cannot discern my instruction that can free you from a snare or show you where to cast your net for a marvelous catch of prosperity. Set aside moments in your day to simply be with me, asking for nothing, just to absorb my peace. This peace, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. It will act as a sentinel, preventing toxic thoughts from entering again. Sacred silence renews your energies, rejuvenates your soul, and gives you strategic wisdom worth more than gold. Many of your afflictions come from haste and agitation. Stop, be still, and know that I am God. I am God over your problems, God over your finances, God over your family. When you enter into my rest, you stop fighting with your own strength and allow me to fight for you. And when I fight, victory is certain. Silence is not a waste of time. It is an eternal investment. It is in silence that I give you creative ideas, solutions to old problems, and the unwavering certainty that you are not alone. I invite you to disconnect from the world for a few minutes every day and connect directly with me. You will see that difficult thoughts cannot survive in the atmosphere of my silent glory. There only love, acceptance, and peace exist. Seek this silence today. If you desire this peace, leave a like. Subscribe to learn to hear my voice. Share this invitation to peace. Do you accept my rest? Comment below. My soul rests in you. The shielding of the temple and physical renewal. Many times you forget, my daughter, that your body is the living temple of my spirit, and that there is an unbreakable connection between the health of your body and the health of your mind. Difficult thoughts, chronic stress, and anxiety are not just passing clouds in your head. They release toxins, tension, and real illnesses into your flesh. When you allow fear to rule, your body reacts as if it were in constant danger, ready for a war that never physically happens, but which devastates your inner self, stealing the vitality you need to achieve your dreams and generate wealth. I wish you health, and that all goes well with you, just as your soul goes well. This is the divine order, a prosperous soul, a healthy body. Have you neglected rest? Have you nourished this temple with what does not edify? The insomnia that plagues you is often a reflection of a mind that has not learned to trust that I am the guardian of Israel, who neither sleeps nor slumbers, precisely so that you may sleep. Sleep is a sacred gift, a moment of divine repair where I work in your subconscious and renew your strength. When you lie down worried about bills, the future, the problems of others, you profane this moment of rest. I want to teach you how to shield your body against the devastating effects of toxic thoughts. Breathe, calm your heart rate. Understand that speeding up won't make time pass faster, nor will it solve problems sooner. The renewal of your mind begins with caring for the vessel that carries it. Start treating your body with the dignity of one who carries my glory. Drink water as a prophetic act of cleansing, nourish yourself with gratitude, move to celebrate the life that flows in your bones. When you care for your physical body, you send a powerful message to your brain that you love and value yourself. And when self-esteem rises, thoughts of self-deprecation lose ground. Financial prosperity also requires physical vigor to be managed and enjoyed. What good is accumulating treasures if your body is broken by anguish? I want to give you life, and life in abundance, complete and whole. The shielding happens when you decide that stress is not allowed to destroy the work of my hands, which is you. Surrender anxiety and receive the breath of life. Every time you take a deep breath and exhale slowly, you are telling your body, God is in control, everything is all right. This physiological and spiritual practice breaks the cycle of panic. You are too precious to be consumed by worries. I made you to last, to flourish, and to reflect my light. Take care of the temple, and the mind will find a safe and peaceful dwelling place to inhabit. Shall we take care of this sacred temple together, like if you accept this care? Subscribe to receive daily strength. Share with those who are physically exhausted by their minds. Will you take care of yourself? Comment below. My body is the temple of the Spirit. Gratitude as a weapon of war. The secret that instantly changes atmospheres is gratitude. I'm not talking about a simple social thank you, but a deep sacrificial gratitude that is born in the midst of the storm. It is impossible for the human mind to focus on gratitude and fear at the same time. They are opposite frequencies. When you choose to be grateful, you tune your mind to the frequency of heaven, where there is no scarcity, no illness, no fear. Gratitude is the master key that opens the doors that murmuring has closed. Remember when the people murmured in the desert? They kept going around in circles. Complaining traps you in cycles of difficult thoughts. Gratitude propels you to a new level of achievement. Giving thanks for what you haven't yet seen is the purest form of faith. Father, I thank you for the healing, even while feeling pain. I thank you for the provision, even while seeing my account empty. This confuses the enemy. He expects you to cry and despair. But when you raise a praise, you build a throne for me in the midst of your chaos. And where I sit, chaos must bow. Gratitude changes your brain chemistry, releasing hormones of well-being and clarity, allowing you to see divine solutions that were hidden by the fog of ingratitude. Take stock of your blessings now. Look at what you have, not what you lack. Gratitude multiplies. Jesus gave thanks for 5 loaves and 2 fish, and they multiplied to feed a multitude. A little with gratitude becomes much. Much without gratitude becomes nothing. If you want to overcome thoughts of scarcity and failure, start by being grateful for small victories, for the roof over your head, for your breath, for your family, for the opportunity to start over. Be grateful for closed doors too, for they were my deliverances in your life. Use gratitude as an offensive weapon. When a bad thought comes, attack it with 10 reasons to be grateful. This will disarm negativity and reprogram your mind to seek the goodness and mercy that follow you every day. A grateful mind is a magnet for miracles. Prosperity loves a grateful heart, for gratitude is proof that you are a good steward of what you have already received. I am ready to pour out more, but I need you to prepare the vessel with thanksgiving. Let's raise a cry of gratitude. Like this video if you are grateful. Subscribe to cultivate a worshipping heart. Share this key to victory. What are you grateful for today? Comment below. I am grateful for everything. The forgiveness that frees the captive mind. Many of the chains that bind your thoughts to the past are forged from the steel of unforgiveness. Resentment is a poison you take, hoping the other person will die. But it is you who becomes ill. Holding on to resentment occupies a gigantic space in your mental RAM, slowing down your processing of the new things I want to do. You relive offenses, relive pain, rewrite dialogues from old arguments, and this drains the creative energy that should be used to build your prosperous future. Forgiveness is not a feeling. It is an intelligent decision to free a prisoner and discover that the prisoner was you. I know the wound was deep. I know it was unfair. But my justice is greater than that of men. When you surrender judgment to me and decide to forgive, you take away that person's power over your emotional life. You cut the umbilical cord that bound you to pain, and often, the hardest forgiveness you need to release is to yourself. You blame yourself for past mistakes, for missed opportunities, for trusting the wrong people. My daughter, if I have already cast your sins into the sea of forgetfulness, who are you to go there and fish them out? Guilt is a blocker to prosperity. It tells you that you don't deserve to be happy, that you don't deserve to have money, that you don't deserve a good marriage. But the blood of my Son has already paid the price for your freedom. Forgive yourself. Accept my mercy that is renewed every morning. Cleanse your heart of this emotional garbage. A mind full of resentment is a divided mind, and a house divided cannot stand. To prosper, you need integrity, a light and unimpeded heart. Forgiveness unlocks spiritual flows. Job was only restored twofold when he prayed for his friends who had criticized him. Your turning point may depend only on this act of letting go of those who have offended you. Don't carry this heavy baggage into the next season of your life. Leave it at the cross. By forgiving, you empty your mind of pain and open space for healing, for new ideas, and for love to flow without barriers. Be free today, not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve peace. Are you ready to let go of this weight? Leave your like as a symbol of freedom. Subscribe to Walk in Lightness. Share with those who need forgiveness. Who do you choose to forgive today? Comment below. I choose to forgive and be free. The prophetic vision of your prosperity. Your imagination is the canvas where my spirit paints your future. But the enemy has been trying to use your imagination to paint nightmares of failure. You need to regain control of your inner vision. What do you see when you close your eyes? Debt, loneliness, illness? Or do you see the promise fulfilled? I told Abraham to look at the stars and count them, if he could. So would his descendants be. I gave him a visual image to anchor his faith. You need to have a prophetic vision of your victory before it manifests in the material world. Your thoughts follow your vision. If you see yourself as small, your thoughts will be small. If you see yourself as a daughter of the King, clothed in strength and dignity, your thoughts will align with that royalty. Start visualizing your projects succeeding, your family restored, your bank account overflowing to bless other lives. It's not fantasy, it's faith in action. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. Visualize my light flooding your home. Stop rehearsing tragedies in your mind. Stop preparing for the worst. Prepare for the best. Expectation is the atmosphere of miracles. When you expect good, you attract good. Prophetic vision aligns your emotions and actions in the direction of purpose. If you can see in the spiritual world, you can have it in the natural world. I have placed eternity in your heart. Use that capacity to co-create with me the glorious destiny that is already written in my book. Replace images of fear with images of triumph. See yourself winning that meeting. See yourself healed. See yourself smiling. The brain doesn't distinguish between what you experience and what you vividly imagine. By visualizing victory, you prepare your biology and your spirit to receive it. I am the one who calls into existence what does not exist. Do the same. Prophesy with your eyes of faith. Your prosperity begins with the vision you hold in the face of adversity. Keep your focus on the promise, not the problem. Let's activate the eagle's vision. Like this video to clear your vision. Subscribe to see what God sees. Share with those who need hope. What do you see by faith? Comment below. I see my victory. The importance of alliances and environment. You are not an island. The thoughts that inhabit your mind are often reflections of the voices you hear around you. Who have you been walking with? Bad company corrupts good morals, and it also corrupts faith and hope. If you sit at the table with mockers, with pessimists, with people who only talk about crisis and illness, your mind will be contaminated by this garbage. To overcome difficult thoughts, you often need to change your environment and select your alliances. Eagles fly with eagles. If you walk with chickens, you will never learn to fly to the heights I have designed for you. Protect your ears, for they are the gateway to your mind. If someone only brings gossip, fear, and discouraging words, love that person, but protect your heart from their influence. Seek to be near people who have the flame of my spirit, who speak words of life, who propel you upward. The right environment can heal, the wrong environment can make you sick. Sometimes, temporary solitude is necessary so that I can cleanse your hearing and teach you to hear my voice without interference. Prosperity is also contagious. Walk with wise people, and you will be wise. Learn from those who have already won the battles you are facing. The humility to learn and the wisdom to choose companions transform your mindset. I am raising divine connections for your life, people who will be bridges to your destiny, who will bring words of confirmation and resources for your projects. But you need to be willing to let go of the alliances that bind you to the past. Your environment should reflect heaven on earth. Fill your home with praise, affirmative words, beauty, and order. When the external environment is aligned with my peace, it becomes much easier to keep the internal environment organized. Do not tolerate disrespect, abuse, or constant negativity. You are a daughter of the King, and your environment should be a palace of peace. Sanctify the place where your feet tread, and the people with whom you share your life. Let's cleanse the spiritual environment. Leave a like if you want new alliances. Subscribe to be part of this family of faith. Share this with your true friends. Who do you choose to walk beside you? Comment below. I will walk with wise people. Constancy in spiritual vigilance. The battle for your mind is not won in a single day. It is a war of constancy. Many start well but give up at the first relapse. Understand, my beloved, having a bad thought again does not mean you have failed or lost your liberation. It only means that the enemy is attempting a counter-offensive. Your victory lies in persistence in daily vigilance. Watch and pray, lest you enter into temptation. Vigilance is the sentinel that stands at the door of the mind, checking every thought that tries to enter. You need to develop the spiritual muscle of resistance. Submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Resistance requires firmness. When the old thought returns, don't invite it for tea. Expel it immediately with the authority you have already learned. Consistency in reading the Word, in prayer, and in fasting creates a barrier of fire around you that darkness cannot penetrate. Do not rely on yesterday's strength for today's battle. Seek fresh manna. Spiritual discipline is the path to lasting freedom. Create routines that shield your morning and protect your night. Begin the day by declaring who you are in me, and end the day by surrendering your burdens at my feet. This sacred routine strengthens your identity and diminishes your vulnerability to sudden attacks. Prosperity and emotional stability are fruits of consistency, of doing the right thing repeatedly until it becomes your nature. Don't be discouraged if there are difficult days. The journey is made of steps, and even when you stumble, my hand is outstretched to lift you up. The righteous fall 7 times, but rise again. The secret is not never to fall, but never to stay down. Each time you rise and choose to trust in me again, your faith becomes more unshakable, and your thoughts more submissive to my will. Be strong and courageous. Constancy will bring the reward. Let's make this commitment to vigilance. Like this video to strengthen your determination. Subscribe to maintain daily consistency. Share with those who need perseverance. Will you be vigilant? Comment below. I will be vigilant and strong. The ultimate consecration of your mind. We have reached the sacred moment to seal everything that has been taught. Consecration is the act of voluntarily and totally surrendering something to God for His exclusive use. Today, I call you to consecrate your mind to me. Say, Lord, my mind is yours, my thoughts are yours, my imagination is yours. When you do this, you place a mark of divine ownership on your spiritual forehead. The enemy sees this mark and knows that that territory belongs to the Lord of hosts, and that he has no legal right to touch it. To consecrate the mind is to decide that, from today onward, my word will be the final filter for everything you think. It is to renounce the right to worry, to renounce the addiction to suffering, to renounce the hidden pleasure of self-pity. It is a living, holy, and pleasing sacrifice. By making this total surrender, I promise to pour out upon you supernatural wisdom, a divine intelligence that will make you prosper in everything you put your hands to. The mind of Christ will be fully activated within you. Feel now the oil of anointing descending upon your head, flowing through your thoughts, healing memories, aligning neurons, calming chemical and spiritual storms. You are being clothed in a new mindset. The old structures of fear are crumbling now, and a cathedral of faith is being erected within you. You are no longer a slave to your thoughts. You are their mistress in my name. Receive this new identity. You are a woman of renewed mind, of strong spirit, of healed emotions. Abundance will follow you because your mind is now programmed for the kingdom. Nothing will be impossible for you because you believe. Guard what you have received today. Seal this word in your heart. Your mind is holy ground. Walk in this freedom and never again accept the yoke of mental slavery. I am with you, and my peace is your eternal inheritance. Shall we seal this consecration? Leave your like as a digital amen. Subscribe to Live Consecrated. Share this final anointing. To whom does your mind belong? Comment below. My mind belongs to Christ. My precious daughter, take a deep breath and feel the lightness that is now beginning to take over your being. We have come a long way in these minutes, descending into the depths of your pain and ascending to the peaks of my promise. I know how difficult it has been to carry the weight of these thoughts alone. I saw the nights when you thought you couldn't endure another day, the moments when despair seemed your only company. But look where you are now. You persevered. You heard my voice. This proves that there is a strength within you, a divine resilience that I placed in your spiritual DNA even before you were born. You are not defined by your moments of weakness, nor by the dark thoughts that tried to frighten you. You are defined by my unconditional love, which chose you, forgave you, and empowered you to win. The battle for your mind was won on the cross, and today you have taken possession of that victory. I am breaking now in the spiritual world every decree of bankruptcy, every sentence of depression, every curse cast against your intelligence and your future. The chains have fallen. Do you hear the sound of them hitting the ground? It is the sound of your freedom. From this day forward, you will walk with your head held high, not with arrogance, but with the certainty of one who knows to whom it belongs. The prosperity you seek will not come from the exhausting effort of an anxious mind, but will flow naturally from a mind that rests in my sovereignty. Doors will open, the right connections will appear, and resources will arrive because now you vibrate at the frequency of faith and gratitude. Do not fear the bad days, for I have given you the weapons to overcome them. Do not fear the future, for I am already there preparing the banquet table for you. Feel my embrace now, enveloping you, warming your heart, dispelling all the coldness of loneliness. I am proud of you. I love your life. I love your smile. Smile again, my daughter. The weeping may have lasted a long and dark night, but joy has arrived with this spiritual dawn. Go and live the fullness I dreamed for you. Be light where there is darkness. Be peace where there is war. And never forget, my voice will always be whispering to your heart, guiding every step until the day we meet face to face. To seal this victorious alliance and confirm that you receive this supernatural strength to overcome any mental, financial, or emotional obstacle, I want you to write now in the comments our password of power, the whispered word that activates the impossible. Declare for the world and for hell to hear. I can do all things through him who strengthens me.